Welcome back, everyone. Well, you hear me say it a lot, and boy, do I mean it. We live in a great part of the country. There's so many interesting things if you live here in terms of lifestyle activities and things to do. And this one happens to be one of my favorites. Right in Glens Falls, there is a totally unique museum for children. It's called the World Awareness Children's Museum. And back again, Kaleidoscopes. Remember last time, Kaleidoscopes?
Yes.
Is Heather Hicklin, who's the director of the World Awareness Children's Museum. Not the easiest name in the world to get out right away.
No, but a really easy place to come visit and have fun.
Well said. Okay. The last time I was saying to you that the last time we were here, Heather brought in a bunch of kaleidoscopes. And it was just a wonderful interview, and the exhibit at the museum was fantastic.
Thank you.
But so you're back again because we have a new exhibit.
We do.
And it opens in July, and it's called
Cars, Trains, and Things That Go.
Well, that encompasses a lot.
It does. It
So
does.
where did this idea come from? You always have great creative ideas.
Why, thank you. We're really excited about the project, and one of the things that was so important, we thought, is speaking about transportation, because that's what connects peoples and cultures around the world. It's fundamental.
It is fundamental. Before we went on air, I mentioned to Heather that when I was studying mission statements from corporations, I came across the one that Henry Ford had written for the Ford Motor Company back at the turn of the century. And it wasn't gets 26 miles to a gallon for the Model T or anything like that. He made a point of saying it was because it connected people. And I always stuck in my mind because that is universal.
It is.
It's fundamental, transportation, connecting people. So lo and behold, you latched onto that one.
I did. I hadn't heard that quote, so that was great to hear. And it absolutely represents exactly why we thought this exhibit was a great idea.
Now, we're going to jump around just a little bit. I want to talk a bit about the specifics of the exhibit. But the whole idea of the World Awareness Children's Museum is that if you're, especially the age group 4 to like 11 or 12, right? Kind of the core group. But a little younger and, of course, older would enjoy the museum as well. But these exhibits are really kind of geared to them to be interactive.
Completely interactive.
Right.
They play the whole time they're in the museum, and while they're playing, they're learning and don't even really know they're doing it, but having a great time.
They say that that's the best learning, by the way.
They do, yes.
The cars. I asked Heather before we went on air, I said, so what do you got, like a bunch of cars there? I'm a car guy, so I expect to go in there and see a Corvette. You have half a car.
I have half a car in my art room specifically. So this was a great partnership we actually made with a local auto body shop.
Nice.
And car dealer who donated a car that would have otherwise gone to the scrap heap. And it was cut in half and has been mounted in our art room so that kids can become cartists over the summer and actually decorate this car.
Oh, I love it. So that means stickers or...
Stickers and markers and all kinds of things that they can create beautiful scenes on the car and have their picture taken with it, and eventually become a piece for the museum.
Oh, I love it. Yes, that's right. We have a few things scattered about here, and as the camera sees them, I'll point them out. But one of the great things about the museum is that the children express themselves, mark things up, make paintings, and do all this other stuff, and that becomes part of what you might consider a permanent collection at the museum, right?
We have almost 8,000 pieces of children's art actually at our museum from 82 countries. A few pieces are behind me right now, and they are fundamental to all of the exhibitions and experience projects that we launch, because it's a perfect way for children to see the world through the eyes of another child.
Well, you know what? And there's an overriding thing going on here, too, that, art is so universal that that is the universal way to communicate is through art. We're big proponents of promoting the arts, because I just really feel that you give a child that opportunity to express themselves, that becomes fundamental in the way they think, and there's just nothing stronger than that. Well, you've got half a car. I don't think you have half a train, do you?
No, we do not have half a train. We have
so
a full model train of the Orient Express. That's going to be running all summer long on an elevated track made out of plexiglass so the kids can see right through it.
Nice.
And that will be connecting our existing exhibit on Paris, France.
Oh, that's a great exhibit. Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
I love that one. And also a brand new exhibit that's opening as a piece of this project on Istanbul, Turkey.
Oh, that I haven't seen.
No.
Now, if Istanbul exhibit is anything like Paris, you really get to sense what the culture is like, right? So what's the experience like if you are part of the Istanbul exhibit?
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
There's one section that's a small cafe in
Nice.
Istanbul. The kids will be able to pretend to have tea or coffee. There's a backgammon game there for them to learn about, maybe how to play backgammon and see some of the different cups and serving utensils. And
What about spices?
well, there's a great, a new kind of experience for us. We haven't done this before, where they can have a little hint of what the spice market in Istanbul is like.
Wow.
And there are actually 4 special diffusers that we've gotten that will allow the kids to open them up
actually
and
experience
sniff
it. Yeah,
and
got
see
it.
if they can figure out what the spice is and then reveal the secret.
See,
covered.
again, learning through experience and learning through fun, learning through communication. There just really isn't, there isn't anything, anything better. Now, the exhibit opens up, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, July 2nd, right?
July 2nd will be open the 2nd and the 3rd, closed for the 4th of July holiday. And then we reopen on Sunday the 5th with our expanded summertime hours. So we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 9:30 to 5, and Sundays 12 to 5. So lots of time for people to come up and play and have a great time.
You know, this is the 20th anniversary, by the way, of the museum, so this is a hallmark. But I said to Heather before we went on air, I said, you know, is there anything specific that we want to tell our audience about? And she said, I just want them to come to the museum. And I can tell you, we know each other, and you approach this position with such passion.
Thank
You
you.
really have to. It's right downtown on Warren Street.
It
That's
is.
moved around a little bit, but its permanent home is now right on Warren Street, right off Centennial Circle.
Right off.
A block down.
Yep, between the Civic Center and the Hyde Collection for those
Yes.
people who know Glens Falls. It's right there, and tons of parking on the street available for people. Very easy to get into, and as a completely renovated building, we're completely accessible.
That's right.
We're also open, I want to make a note, for our military families, active
Nice.
military and their families this summer. We're a Blue Star Museum, and so we're actually free for those families if they can make it in the summer as our way of giving back and thanking them for their service.
Oh, Heather, you've got all the bases covered. You really do. A wonderful place to take your child, your grandchildren, their visiting relatives, whether right downtown Glens Falls. You can go get something to eat if you need to and whatever. It's all right there, immediately accessible. And I can tell you firsthand, the museum is very unique and very special.
Thank
well,
you.
Heather, thank you so much for coming in.
Our pleasure.
And we'll see you again for another exhibit. And you didn't bring any kaleidoscopes for me, I noticed.
No, just some great
Models?
example models of
Of
transportation.
transportation. Great. Thank
right.
you for coming in.
Thank you.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.